Hello guys, it's Johnny time and welcome to the DeFi for Dummies series. I'm super excited to start this new series. It's gonna be super beneficial and useful to get started with DeFi and help you to understand what DeFi is, how to start from scratch from the beginning with no experience and start using all the amazing opportunities that DeFi has to offer. If it's earning like on stable coins, staking, lending and borrowing, and making passive income on crypto in a decentralized and safe and secure way. I got this question so many times. Do you have any tutorials for beginners, for starters? And I wanted to make this kind of tutorials for a long time, and finally I'm excited to make this beginners guides, series, and the part one is going to be an introduction of explaining what is DeFi, decentralized finance, for completely beginners that want to get started. We have the series and this is the first basically tutorial. What is a DeFi, intro to DeFi, the part one of this guide, of this series. Part two gonna be more practical. So you want to make sure that you watch all the series one by one, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably there will be more more episodes in the future. So part one gonna be introduction. This is part one. Part two will be more technical, how to actually set up a wallet, get started with DeFi, decentralized application. Part three will be opportunities of staking, liquidity mining on yield farming. We'll get all this term today in the introduction, but the next tutorials will be more technical of how to actually do it and start earning passive income on dollars. Sometimes 20% a year and sometimes 10 or 20% a month in more advanced strategies. And part 4, we're going to talk about something very important in DeFi and that basically opens a world of new opportunities, and these are money markets, basically decentralized applications that let you lend money and borrow money against it, and that's how you can get like super professional and DeFi master and even make higher yields on stable coins or on other coins that you are bullish on. Maybe it's Ethereum, Bitcoin, Phantom, etc., or Cake or BNB, whatever you want. When you understand this kind of thing, it opens a new world of opportunities for you to make passive income on your investments. If it's on dollars to hedge inflation, or if it's on Bitcoin because you are bullish Bitcoin or Ethereum or a lot of other things. So what you're gonna learn today? The first thing that you're gonna learn is what is DeFi, what is decentralized finance. We'll talk a bit about the history of DeFi. We'll understand how it started and where it is today. We'll see some DeFi glossary, basic terms that you will need to be familiar in DeFi. When someone asks you and you read what is AMM, you will know what it actually means. And we will explore some investment opportunities that help us make passive income using DeFi. A bit about me, my name is Johnny. I'm a developer, started from web developing Python, JavaScript. I'm a cybersecurity researcher, professional. I have more than 10 years experience in development and cybersecurity. And in the recent year, I'm actually in crypto since 2013, but in the recent year, I decided to go full-time on blockchain analysis, blockchain development, Solidity, DeFi investing, and that's what I'm doing full time. So if you want to get from my experience, make sure to subscribe and click the bell button, and feel free, because all my videos, I have so many educational videos and they are all completely for free. I'm doing it for the community. My goal is to educate people and get people onboarding into DeFi so they can enjoy it as well. I truly believe in karma and value in this world. That's why I'm posting all this kind of free tutorials. Let's get started with decentralized finance. So decentralized finance is actually the opposite of CeFi, centralized finance. Let's say that you want to get a loan. What do you do when you get a loan? You go to the bank, you sign some papers, and you get a loan. Or maybe you want to buy a stock. You need a third party, you need a bank, you need a broker to open an account in a brokerage website or something, and then you ask the broker and the broker buy and sell the stock for you. The cool thing about DeFi is that there are no third parties. It's permissionless. You don't need a permission to open an account. You don't need to upload documents. You don't need, no one can seize your account. No one can cancel it or take your money. It's permissionless. It's on your wallet and you have full control over your money. You don't need any third parties. This is the first important thing. So you have all the functionalities that you have in normal banking or centralized finance, brokerages, stocks. You can buy even stocks on the blockchain using DeFi, and you don't need third parties. It's permissionless. You don't need permission to start. You just need an internet connection. Anyone with an internet connection can start using DeFi without any other third parties, and it's trustless. You don't need to trust a bank or a country or a government or a brokerage agency that your funds are safe, because you're basically putting your money into smart contracts in an immutable code that runs on a blockchain, and you yourself have a wallet that interacts with this kind of smart contracts. For example, you can see here in India that someday they decided that they don't accept the 500 and 1000 rupee bills. Why? They said it's because to fight corruption, but I don't want to put my opinion, but this is just to show you what is centralized finance. The government can one day decide that your 510,000 rupee bills worth nothing. And the same happens in Turkey with the Turkish lira that is crashing every day. And people are losing trust in the current financial system. And DeFi is the solution for this kind of new financial features that are completely decentralized in your pocket once you have a computer with an internet connection. And the important things to understand here is that with great power comes great responsibility, like the quote in Spider-Man. And it's your wallet, your keys, and your money. It's not like a bank. The advantage in bank that if something happens, the bank will help you to refund your money if someone stole it. In DeFi and crypto, it's your money, it's your full responsibility to keep safe your money, and that's why cybersecurity and knowledge is actually required here. So the more you do it, you will have more experience in how to not fall for scams and how to basically work in this kind of DeFi world in a secure way. And luckily you have me, cybersecurity expert, that will help you go through it. So make sure to watch my security tutorials, and in this guide I will show you how to do it in a safe way and how to basically live in the DeFi world and you enjoy all the opportunities in a safe way, so to reduce the risk of your wallet and money get hacked. And you have so many opportunities. I told you before, 20% on stable coins, sometimes 100% on Ether, on Bitcoin, returns that you won't get anywhere else, neither in any bank or in like real estate or in any other investments, opportunities that exist only in DeFi. And this is why basically you want to use it. So I guess that you're familiar with Mark Cuban, and he got asked, by the way guys, if you find this video interesting and you want to get exposed to more videos and become DeFi master here with me in Johnny Time, make sure to subscribe and click the bell notification button. Also check out my other videos. I have so many playlists divided by categories, by ecosystem, by protocols, and you can get exposed to so much free educational content and get involved in your DeFi journey here with me. Also, if you have any questions or you want to join the Johnny Time family on Discord, check the link in the description below. We have so many channels where people help each other. We have general chat, support, farms and pools, stablecoins, NFTs, suggestions. If you have any interesting protocol that you want me to make a video about and do some research, this is the community for you. Join in the links in the description below. And if you don't know, I'm doing anything here for free. Anything, because my goal is to get people educated and spread the word and help people get into DeFi and crypto. And this is my value to the world. And if you want to support me and help me scale up this channel by hiring editors and people that will help me out to create basically more quality content, please consider joining my Patreon and donating a small amount of money every month, because everyone can donate a small amount of money, and using this money I will be able to create more amazing content for you. And if I helped you, if you appreciate my work here, then just consider doing it. And 10% of all the income I'm gonna donate, because I always believe in donation and helping people and bringing value to this world. So you can get assured that 10% of all the donations on your money that you're gonna put here, if it's a $10 tier, 20, 30, 100 or whatever you put, gonna be donated, and 90% gonna be directly into the growth of this channel. Thank you so much, and now let's get back to the video. Please show us the business case for decentralized application that is not tied to gambling or illegal activity. If you have a legitimate use case where a DApp, decentralized app, would be the best solution out of all the alternatives, please lay it out for us. So Agnost challenged Mark Cuban, and Mark Cuban replied, sure, I call my bank for a loan. I want to borrow 5K USD against the 10K I have in a multi-year CD, probably kind of deposit of dollar. Takes some paperwork, a phone call or two, a few days. I go to Aave.com. So this is the other side. So it takes a phone call or two, a few days, and signing on paperwork. Now, on the other side, on DeFi, you can go to Aave.com or Compound or so many other protocols that I will show you in this kind of series, where I have 10K in ETH deposited. So you have 10K deposit on the protocol on Aave. I want to borrow 5K of US dollars against it. It takes me about 2 minutes and it's done. No signatures, no permission, no roll call, no working days. You just click a button, send a transaction from your wallet to the blockchain, and you can borrow against your Ether USDT. And this is Mark Cuban, one of the biggest and important investors in all times, and he's loving DeFi and he's doing DeFi. So now, before we get started, let's talk about the history a little bit. So you are all familiar with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin started by Satoshi Nakamoto, the anonymous guy who put it out to the world in 2008. Since then, it was crazy. And Ethereum came into life, Ether, on 2015. So Ethereum took the concept of Bitcoin, of decentralized token, and token that is not backed by any country or any third parties, and it took it to the next level. It basically allowed a platform that on top of this platform, developers can write smart contracts. This is amazing. And the miners who validate the blockchain, they execute on their machines their smart contracts. Smart contracts are basically code, immutable code. A code that what immutable means that when you published it to the Ethereum network, no one can ever change it. It's there forever. Everyone can read it. It's public. And the code is basically a consensus that you can go and say if you agree to it or no. Or not. So Ethereum took it to the level up and enabled all other developers as a platform build decentralized applications using smart contracts. Now, in 2017 and 2018, probably you're familiar with the crypto summer of 2017, the ICOs were a thing. So this was the first usage of smart contracts where people created tokens and raised money on using Ethereum tokens. So they wrote smart contract that basically you can send Ether to the smart contract and then you get a shares of a future project or protocol in terms of the token of the protocol, very similar to IPO in the stock market, but in a decentralized way. You don't need a broker, you don't need to sign paperwork with the ICC and everything. It's decentralized and it's open to anyone who has internet connection. Of course, there were a lot of scams and people took advantage of it and create like fake projects and raised a lot of money. But the cool thing is that the smart contracts development and the decentralized application has been evolved. And since 2019, there are a lot of more advanced decentralized applications that lives on Ethereum blockchains. And in 2021, actually more blockchains came up, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Avalanche, that there are amazing decentralized applications, advanced applications that are built on this kind of chains that are all very similar to Ethereum and are using smart contracts. And this is DeFi basically. DeFi is decentralized applications that lets you a lot of functionalities from the traditional financial system, but in a trustless, permissionless and anonymous decentralized way. Now that we understand the history and we know how DeFi started and how it evolved for Bitcoin, Ethereum, smart contracts and decentralized application, let's talk about Glossary. So the first thing that you want to know, that you need to know, is DeFi, which stands for Decentralized Finance, and CeFi and Centralized Finance. Now, quite obvious, DApp is decentralized app, decentralized application. It's an application that lives on Ethereum or Avalanche or Phantom or Solana blockchain. DAO is a term that you probably heard a lot. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. It's basically an organization that is governed on the blockchain. There is a token that people can vote for proposal and decide where the project goes. This is DAO. Now, the next glossary is DEX, decentralized exchange. So when you go to the bank and you want to swap Forex, maybe dollar to Australian dollar or Turkish lira to euros, you need to go to a centralized bank or centralized authority that will switch this token. Decentralized exchange lets you do all these kind of swaps between one token and one coin to another in using a decentralized app. So this is the term of decentralized exchange, and AMM is automated market maker. This is basically the algorithm that runs behind those decentralized exchanges, and it's like a robot that you can give him dollar and he gives you Bitcoin, you give him Bitcoin, he gives you Ether, and it's completely decentralized. TVL is also a term that you might hear a lot in DeFi. It means total value locked. So when there is a protocol that has smart contracts, sometimes people lock value in the protocol in terms of Ether or Bitcoin or dollars or other coins, and the total value that is locked in the protocol called TVL, total value locked. LP, liquidity pool. So in order to fuel all these kind of DEXs and automated market makers, people need to add liquidity for particular tokens. So in order to swap, let's say, change Ether for dollars, I need that the robot, the smart contract, will hold Ether and dollars. So there are people who add this liquidity and get incentivized to do it by rewards. So this is liquidity pool LP or liquidity provider. This is LP. APR, annual percentage rate. So when you provide liquidity, do staking, yield farming, all these kind of things that we will talk in a moment, you get yield. And the APR is the annual yield that you're gonna get. So if you put $10,000 and you're gonna get $1,000 yield on your investment after 1 year, the APR is 10% because $1,000 is 10% of $10,000. Now the cool thing about APY, annual percentage yield, this is the difference from annual percentage rate, is that the rate that is compounded, which means that every once in a while you get rewards, and if you take this reward and you compound them, let's say every week, then your return will be higher than 10%. Because on the first week, let's say you make $10, what happens if you take this $10 and put it again in the protocol to make more yield? It's called compound interest. And this is the APY. So the APY will always be higher than the APR, and it will be dependent on the APR, of course, and on basically the time that you compound your yield. If you compound it every day, of course, it will be higher. If you compound it every month, it will be lower because your interest is working for you again and again. So this is the difference between APR and APY. Now let's talk a bit about opportunities in DeFi. The first thing that you need to know in DeFi and the first feature that came into living is Uniswap, and it's a DEX and AMM. What is DEX and AMM? We talked about it for a moment in like 2 minutes ago. Basically, it lets you swap one token to another in a decentralized way without interacting with an exchange, in a centralized exchange like Binance or KuCoin or Crypto.com. You don't need to open an account to add a KYC, passport. You can keep your information private and safe, and you just connect your MetaMask wallet. But don't worry, we'll talk about the wallet in the future tutorial, how to set it up and how to use these kind of protocols. Basically, it's an application that lets you swap one token for another. For example, let's say you want to buy Ethereum with USDT, which is a stable coin that's pegged to the dollar. You can use Uniswap to swap. You can see the user interface is super easy and easy to understand and to work with. You can swap USDT to Ether or Ether to USDT, or maybe you want to buy Bitcoin and you don't need to open an account. This is super cool and amazing. So this is one thing that DeFi lets us do. Change tokens very easily in a decentralized way. Another opportunity is staking. Staking basically means that you can take a token. It could be Cake token, for example, or it could be UST. So here on the left, you can see Anchor Protocol. Anchor Protocol is a protocol that lets you stake your UST, which is pegged to the $1. It always worth $1 and earn every year around 20% interest. This is crazy. You cannot get this kind of return on any other investments that the mainstream talks about. If it's like real estate or bank, the bank pays how much? 0.1% on your dollars. Here you can get 20% return, stable, set and forget. And in this kind of channel, I'm gonna explain you everything and teach you how to do it, so make sure to watch my other videos. Also, you can stake more volatile assets like Cake, like PancakeSwap, and get even higher returns, 63%. I have strategies in this channel that I teach people how to make even 30% a month, which translates into 400, 500% a year on US dollars in more advanced strategies that involves higher risk, but this is more advanced. But if you want to sell and forget, you can just buy USD and stake it for 20% a year, which is amazing. Another opportunity is liquidity providing. Remember that we talked about liquidity providing about DEX. So when you provide liquidity here, the user is paying some kind of fee. This fee is going to the liquidity provider, because if you add liquidity for Ether USD, if a user comes and tries to swap Ether to USD, he's gonna pay maybe 0.2% of fee. This fee is going to the liquidity provider. So when you provide liquidity, you get yield, you become an exchange. Anyone can become an exchange and earn fees. For example, you can see right here, if you provide liquidity for Luna, which is the native token of Terra ecosystem, with USD, the stable coin of Terra ecosystem, you can earn 38% APR. It's 37% a year. You have a lot of opportunities for providing liquidity and getting returns on your liquidity. This is another thing that we will talk in this tutorial and show you how to do it. Another opportunity is yield farming, something that protocols want to incentivize you to add liquidity. So instead of earning only this kind of returns from the commission, from the fees that our users are paying for swaps, the protocol itself mints an additional token and gives you this token as a reward. An example for this is PancakeSwap, where you can see that they want to incentivize you, provide liquidity for Cake and BNB pair, and you're gonna earn additional 43% on your liquidity, because they need these protocols. They're fighting for liquidity. They need liquidity because the more liquidity there is, the better price that the users are gonna get when they swap their tokens. So they incentivize you by getting you extra reward, and this is called yield farming. I love yield farming, and you can make so much money, passive income, using yield farming. And the more advanced stuff is lending and borrowing. So remember that we talked about the fact that you can go to your bank, deposit money, and then lend against it, and how complicated it is. In DeFi, it's super easy, super simple, permissionless, trustless, and anonymous. For example, here you can see Trunkle Finance. You have Compound, Aave, a lot of protocols where you can basically give money to the protocol, get return for it, because the protocol gives you rewards on lending this money. For example, you can lend USDC, which is another stable coin, or Bitcoin, and get 12% on your Bitcoin and USDC. But not only that you are getting those 12%, you can borrow money against it. So for example, you can borrow one, and you're even getting rewarded by borrowing money, which is something that does not exist. The bank will never pay you for borrowing money, but these kind of things happen on DeFi, and this is amazing. So you can, for example, deposit Bitcoin, earn 12% a year on Bitcoin, and then you can borrow one, and then you can add liquidity for one and getting even more yield. So there are so many opportunities that I will show you in this kind of series. Make sure to watch it all and subscribe to the channel. Now, leverage farming is another great thing, which basically lets you borrow asset and then farm them. So it's more risky because you might get liquidated, but you can see here that the opportunity is great, and you can make 2000% a year on leveraged yield farming, but we'll get into it later in the tutorials. So the opportunities are endless, and this is amazing. You can make so much money and passive income in DeFi. And the more important thing, that it lets anyone participate, anyone who has an internet connection, without the current financial system that we all know. It's much more simple, faster, more profitable, and you have so many opportunities to make money on DeFi, and that's why I love it. And it gives the power back from the institutions, from the banks, from the government to the people. And that's what I'm doing here, trying to teach as many people as I can how to get started. And in the next tutorial, in part 2, you will learn more technical stuff, how to get started, how to open a wallet, and how to start using all this kind of amazing opportunities. So make sure to subscribe and watch all the series to get educated and become a DeFi master with me here with Johnny Time. If you like this video, consider smashing the like button for the algorithm and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. Write questions if you have them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer and help you out. And I will see you in the next tutorials. Thank you. Bye bye.